I already discussed the Bill Cosby controversy on this channel, so I'm not going through the whole case again. Just one question I have. Where are the apologies to Bill Cosby? Where are they? Remember, his conviction has been overturned. He has been released from prison. The whole case had no feet to stand upon. And he was even tried again for a case that he was released from. So that's double jeopardy. That's not allowed according to law. Yet, he was still in prison. So, let's look at this for a moment. This man, Bill Cosby, was unjustly convicted and has been overturned. He's released, but only because there was so much pressure, and only because only because the embarrassment of the hoax became clear. With hoax, I mean those allegations against him. And look, now that his conviction has been overturned, when are they going to arrest those accusers? When are they going to sue those people that made a documentary or those documentaries about him? When? When are they going to sue those judges and those people that assisted in the unlawful prosecution of Bill Cosby? When is it going to happen? When are people going to openly say, I'm sorry, Bill Cosby? When are all those YouTubers who escalate on Bill Cosby, talking filth and shit about him, when are they going to say, Bill Cosby, I'm sorry. I just took advantage of your bad situation. I know I'm a horrible human being. Forgive me. I'll repent and become a better individual. When is that going to happen? I can tell you, I don't see it happening. You know why? Because that's how the world is. When people in the world find an outlet for their darkness, they will take that outlet. When they see that you are in a weakened state, or they see that you're wounded, and they see an opportunity for them to drop their tensions and to drop their issues, they will do it. Especially when authority figures are involved in suggesting them they can dump on you. This is not about Bill Cosby. The Bill Cosby case shows you how world things are. Many of Bill Cosby's own people, African Americans, turned on him, even when it was obvious that the whole case didn't add up. Why? Because it was popular to be against Bill Cosby, because then you would get approval and a pat on the back from society. So they went along with it. Yes, they went along with racist United States of America in symbolically lynching Bill Cosby just to get a pat on the back. Oh, but the pat on the back didn't last for long. And now the conviction's been overturned. Are those same African Americans are going to openly admit their crimes and their sins and repent? No. And this is just African Americans. All over the world, people were escalating on Bill Cosby. Why? Because now they didn't have to look at themselves and their own individual issues that they're facing, nor the issues of their community. Now they had a distraction. They could all unload their anger and their frustration on Bill Cosby. And they did. And they're happy they had an outlet for their anger and their frustrations. So they're not sorry for what they've done, because it's all about them. It's all about them feeling better. How it affected Bill Cosby and the people surrounding Bill Cosby, how it affected the black community as a whole, they don't care. They had their outlet. That's all that matters. The only thing they're sorry about is that the situation didn't end up the way they expected. They expected to symbolically lynch Bill Cosby, and Bill Cosby will end up dying in prison, and it will all be over with, and they would never be challenged nor forced to face themselves. But now, because the conviction was overturned, they have something to explain. And they don't want to explain it. And if you pressure them to face themselves, they may explode and turn on you. Some may even kill you just for questioning their integrity. Well, here's what I want you to understand. Integrity is also a social construct. But what I mean is, they're not reliable people. Why? Because they are people who don't want to face things in life. They just want to flee all the time. And when they can't escape, they will escalate. And when the public is upset because their issues increase in the community, they want an outlet. They want a scapegoat to victimize. And the world's authorities know this. That's why from time to time, the world's authorities set someone up just to give an outlet, just to provide an outlet for the public. And the public, as narcissistic as they are, will take the opportunity. So it isn't just those females who came after Bill Cosby. It isn't just those coons that worked with the whole process. It isn't just the legal system in the United States. It's the public that was in on it. Because if the public would have realized, or they would have considered the situation, would have thought, these testimonies are a bit weird. And why did they wait so long? If they would have noticed all inconsistencies and take time to check the context and the timing, most people would have come to the conclusion this case doesn't add up. But because the public was so horny to escalate on Bill Cosby, it succeeded. So what I'm teaching you in this video is the following. Anytime people are upset, I'm talking about the crowd, I'm talking about the community. Anytime in the community people are upset about something, whether they're rightfully upset or not, doesn't matter. They want an outlet. Looking for solutions is not common in the world. People want an outlet. And if you are around, and if you are in a vulnerable position, and they have some leverage over you, then guess what? You will be the chosen one by them for them to escalate everything upon. That's what's going to be. And that is why we are warned in the New Testament not to be unequally yoked with unbelievers. Because that's how those people operate. That's how the world is. When everyone wants ease, nobody wants to point out injustice. Just think about it. If you don't have much going for you except a 9-to-5 job, and therefore you need to be on good terms with your employer and your colleagues and the people around you, and you see the people around you going off at this public figure, even though you can see this thing doesn't add up, you're going to keep your mouth shut. You know why? Because if you would open your mouth, they may be triggered and turn on you. So for your safety's sake, you will condone or at least enable what's going on. Now, in that case, it's understandable that you don't open your mouth and expose injustice, but still it's wrong to condone and get along with it. But many people do exactly that. They will either condone or just enable the scapegoating and the witch hunt. They will do it. And because most people in the world don't have something going for them, except a 9-to-5 job or just a small income, you do the much. If you ever become the target of a witch hunt, most of the people will likely endorse it or they will enable it, and don't expect anyone to speak out for you. Now let's forget about Bill Cosby now. There were African American men convicted for rape, and they received the death penalty. And decades later, it came out they were innocent. Nothing in the case added up. They've lied on those men. Yes, but those men were murdered at a young age. The family and relatives of those individuals, most of them that knew them are either dead or in old age right now. And the young generation never knew them. Nevertheless, the families and relatives of those young men, they had to live their whole life with the hurt that one of the relatives were killed by the government because the public wanted an outlet for their issues. Till this day, it happens over and over again that people are released from prison because they were wrongly convicted, or they received too long prison sentences. Let's say a boy steals a bar of candy from a shop at age 15 and he gets 20 years in prison. Such weird things. Now, it's not only amongst African Americans, this happens all over the world. People just want an outlet for issues. They are not interested in solutions. You will not encounter anyone that quickly that will openly tell you, listen, I don't want solutions. I just want to go through life. I don't want to be bothered by anyone. And if I'm fed up, I will just ghost people. I don't care how other people feel. As long as other people make sure I'm left alone and they treat me well, it's fine. Nobody will openly admit this narcissistic tendency, because it sounds quite ugly, and it's quite humiliating and embarrassing for someone to be openly narcissistic like this. No, they will not do that. No, they were taught to mask their narcissism with what they call manners and etiquette. Manners, etiquette, politeness, those are methods of the world to mask your narcissism. And we tend to honor and embrace people that are polite, that have manners, and who have etiquette. Why? Because they give a pleasant image that gratifies us. But deep down inside, we know very well that's not how those people really are. But here's the thing, we don't want to know what and who those people really are. We just want to be gratified. And it's this narcissistic clinging to be gratified that keeps many of us in danger. Look, when Satan wants to deceive you and destroy you, he does not come in his full ugliness screaming at you. Absolutely not. If a rapist wants to rape you, he doesn't just jump in front of you, pull up his pants and show you his erection. No. No, it's not how it goes. When people want to kidnap you, they don't just jump out of a car with ropes and running after you. No, what happens? All of them, they study you first to check your patterns and your behavior, to check what your weaknesses are, and then they plan when they're going to make the move, and they're going to make the move slowly. First, they will do their best to win your trust, to get close to you, and then they will do the inside job. Yet, in daily life, too often, we just embrace the act of other people without finding out what those people are. We value the actions of other people more than who they really are. Now listen to me, Satan can do good deeds also. He is Satan, but he can do good things. But when Satan does good things only to cover up his own behind. A rapist can help an elderly lady walking up the stairs. Right? Because he has a grandmother too. So he has this human quality that he is concerned with the elderly, but he's still a rapist. A child molester can, for example, be against, let's use an example. A child molester can be against not paying your workers. Let's say you have a company somewhere that refuses to pay the employees. Now, the child molester can be very upset with that. But at the same time, he's a child molester. So just because someone is bad or evil doesn't mean they can't do good things. So bad people or evil people can have good behavior from time to time. And that's all we're interested in often, the actions, that we get the benefits and we get the gratification. We don't look beyond the gratification. And that is something we often do wrong. That's why you need to examine what people are. And look, when things as the Bill Cosby controversy happens, or there's also something going on with Johnny Depp, it doesn't have to be a public figure from Hollywood. It can also be someone close to you. Anytime a public symbolic lynching happens, because actual physical lynchings are rare these days, but when a public lynching, because lynching are always public, when a lynching happens on a symbolic level or in an actual way, we need to pay attention to the situation and learn from it. And no lynching happens before tension is building up. So anytime you notice in a community that tension is building up, then know that sooner or later someone is about to be lynched. Know that sooner or later a witch hunt is about to begin. So what do you do then? You pay attention to what's going on, and you begin to remove yourself from the public sight, and you go low-key, below the radar, so that when the escalation happens, you can easily move away. The best way to deal with a societal meltdown is by not dealing with it at all. Because anytime you have to deal with it, to stop it or to regulate it is going to cost you something. So, in this case, of Bill Cosby, it was way too late for anyone to do something about it. Now, I'm not saying that we are able to stop every lynching, whether it's a symbolic lynching or actual lynching, no. But we can see things coming. Now, we don't know who that actual target will be. Now, sometimes it's obvious because everyone is murmuring about someone. When you notice that a lynching vibe is increasing in the community, go low-key, stay out of public sight so that you can easily move out. That is what we need to do. And please, stop expecting better from these worldly people. Look, I don't do standards and morals, ethics, all of that. I deal with reality. If someone is not born again, nor renewed in their mind, that means they are a sinner. That means that they are relief seekers. Now, some relief seekers are realistic and they have a good heart in the sense that they want what's best. They want to be better people. Those are the realistic worldlings or the realistic relief seekers. Now, the realistic relief seekers, you can deal with them, but remember, they're still relief seekers. They still crave relief deep down inside. So at some point, they will become liabilities for you. But most of the sinners are not practical. They just want relief and they insist on relief. And when they don't get the relief, they will explode. So stop expecting better from sinners. Stop. Stop expecting better from sinners. Now, they should become better by becoming born again, renewed in the mind, and operating in righteousness. They should do that, but as long as they're not born again and renewed in the mind, you should know they're sinners operating in sin. You can't expect more from them. That doesn't mean you approve the condition they're in. No, because Christ provided a way out. But as long as they are in that condition, that is what you're dealing with. Some of them will become believers eventually, others not. But even if someone would become a believer later on, as long as they're not a believer yet, you deal with them in a sin state. Stop expecting better from them. I'm not saying to be okay with their treacherous ways. No, you're not okay with their treacherous ways, which are wrong. Just realize that being upset with them for being sinners is not going to help anything. No matter how much you escalate and you're angry and outraged about their crimes, they are sinners. That doesn't mean you shouldn't hold them accountable. You should. But as long as they are in the sin state, stop expecting better from them. Because you won't get better from them anyway. So know how this world is. Act accordingly to avoid the traps of the enemy. Again, when a lynching vibe is increasing in the community, stay out of public sight, go low-key, so that you can flexibly remove yourself from the community anytime. That's it for now. Keep on agreeing with Christ and be at peace.